the channel. So I don't know where to start with this, but I will be leaving tomorrow night, to head up to Brisbane. Nice long drive for myself. I'm going to launch it up there with a car trailer to go pick up another car. Now, this thing will still be here. Obviously, I don't know if you probably can't really tell, but it's been pushed over. I've moved it over. It's definitely a lot closer to the wall. So what it's going to be making room for is an S13 with an RB20 in it. We are currently somewhere in the middle of Australia. I think we're coming up near Cobar, New South Wales. Not sure if you can see. Obviously got the bed in the back, trailer on. There's not a whole heap out here. Nothing but goats and bloody bushland. We're well on the way. So still driving. I'm here. I've had about this scenery for the last 2 hours. I don't know where I am. Past Cobar somewhere. We almost had a potential hold up in Cobar where apparently the mayor of like 50 years has passed away, so they've blocked the whole town off. I just got through before they blocked the town off, which is lucky, otherwise I may have had a bit of a hold up there. But yeah, so the plan is today, to just kind of keep driving really until I just can't be bothered driving anymore. So I'm going to get that 12 hours out of the way regardless. I sort of have to. But yeah, I think I might just keep driving. Last night, it was quite warm last night. I've currently got the windows down, aircon off, just because it seems to be a lot better on fuel with the aircon off. And it's 30 degrees, it's not all that hot. Got the windows down, it's alright. Save a bit of money on fuel, which is good. But yeah, I was a bit uncomfortable last night trying to sleep with the heat and stuff, so I think what I'll probably do tonight is just keep driving until I'm sort of pretty buggered. And yeah, just sort of get as far as I can. I mean, I say that now. I mean, you know, once I've done that 12 hours, I've still got another, 6 hours to go to sort of be at my 12. So we'll sort of cross that bridge when we get there. I'll probably end up pulling over and won't be bothered driving any further, but we're on track anyway. It's only Friday and we're over halfway there, which is good. Well, actually I think we're about halfway, which is good. So yeah, keep you guys posted. Alright, so another little update. Still in the middle of nowhere. Probably can't see back there, but we're having trailer dramas. The tyre rack has decided to start cracking, and one of the bars has actually snapped. So I've had to strap it down off the side to just kind of keep it there so it doesn't fly off into anyone's window or anything. I've sort of strapped the rest of the tyre rack down to kind of stop it, but it's kind of, yeah, the rest of it's kind of cracking a bit here and there, and it's not looking good. But I think the reason it's happening is the fact that there's no car on the trailer, so the trailer being light and just sort of bouncing around from side to side is causing it to crack. So I think once the car's on there, I don't think it's going to be as bad. But yeah, we're going to have to, once we reach Queensland, find a workshop or something somewhere and get them to kind of weld it back up and weld the cracks up and just kind of hold it together, because once the car's on there I don't really want it falling apart on the car. So yeah, it's basically going to be a kind of bit of a patch up job just to sort of get it back. I might throw a couple of straps back on it and yeah, make sure she stays there, and yeah, then once we're back we'll probably end up just bracing it up a little bit for Scott, because yeah, it's not going to be ideal if he's towing his car with it and he stacks all his wheels up on there. So with the weight of the wheels and the way it's looking at the moment, there's a pretty high possibility that it'll fall on his car. So yeah, we'll brace all that up and sort it out for him before we give it back. Alright, so we're in Brisbane, just heading up to get the car now. Got in a bit late last night, decided to drive all the way through like I'd said. Got into Brisbane, which I'm kind of glad, because even once we were in Brisbane, still had another 2 hours up to the car. So it's 2 hours up, 2 hours back to get back to where we just stopped. So which is kind of good. But where we just stopped is where Black Arts factory is. If any of you guys watch Luke's channel, Luke Fink's channel, you'll know who Black Hearts Factory are. They do a lot of fab work for those guys around the Archfield area. So yeah, we're going to go there and get some trailer repairs done. If you're wondering why I look so tired, it's probably because I am very tired. I haven't really thought the rest stops through, left myself sufficient time to have a decent sleep, so I'm pretty buggered if I must say. But we'll get there, we'll be right. Only had about 3 hours sleep last night. Sorry, the night before. Last night was only about 4.5, 5. So yeah, a little bit of a case of the humidity and the heat in the back of the car. I didn't really think about it too well. So yeah. Anyways, we'll keep trekking and go get this car, and yeah, we'll get back to you. Righto, so we have collected the car. When I say we, I keep saying we, I mean me. I have collected the car. Not sure if you can see it on the back there, but she's all loaded up. A few things that I wasn't sort of fully aware of, that it is on E85. I knew it was set up for E85, but I wasn't sure whether it ran solely on E85 or what the go was. So geez, it's quite nice around here. Yeah, so yeah, but yeah, it all seems quite good. Bloke was a mechanic, so he, you know, quite a, I guess, a trustworthy guy with that sort of stuff. Like, he knows his shit. He's pretty honest with everything. So yeah, it was a pleasure to deal with him. Yeah, so yeah, we'll get this car back. We're gonna go sort this trailer out, and then basically, yeah, get on the road, and yeah, we'll get this car back and rip into it and have a bit more content for you guys from here on out. Will be a bit more going on with the driving side of things, which is good. So yeah, we'll keep you updated along the way, and yeah, it won't be too long and we'll be back in Adelaide. Alright. Just going to whack a few zippies on the back here, because just worried about the wind just flicking on that the whole time, so we'll just whack a few zippies on there, and we'll be on the way. So we're on Corinda Road apparently. Been on it for a little while now. To be honest, it's been like this for the last couple of 100 kilometres, oh, probably 150, getting close to 200 kilometres. I don't know what I'm going to do if I come across another vehicle. I haven't yet. It's currently, was it 20 to 6 in the morning? According to, well, quarter to 6 actually, sorry. According to the New South Wales time, 5:15. Oh God, just hit an owl. That wasn't ideal. Yeah, that wasn't great. Hell of a time to get the GoPro out. But yeah, so this is, don't know where we are really exactly, somewhere in New South Wales. I'm not sure when we'll be back on a normal sort of type of road. But yeah, it's quite narrow, quite bumpy, and sort of not really sure what to expect. As you saw, I just bloody walloped an owl, so I nearly cleaned a roo up when I first got on the road. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's been not too bad. So yeah, I guess we'll just keep on going and see what we come across. So still no idea where we are. We're in the middle of farming land, I think, as in like grazing land, I should say. Sorry, not farming land. I got out a bit earlier just to take a piss. Oh goodness me! Got out to take a piss, and was absolutely covered in flies. The front of the car, or the front of the Silvia, I should say, has a fair bit of cow shit flicked up all over it. As you can see, we're still on this road that we're buggered if another car comes. because I'm literally like, you probably can't see, but yeah, I'm like touching the grass either side almost. So yeah, going through a heap of cattle grids and stuff. I don't think we're too far off Cobar, to be honest, but this better be the fastest route, because it's not that great. It's a little bit tiring driving on a road like this, because you obviously got to pay a lot of attention. You can't just sort of kick back and cruise and let the car wander, because as you can see, there's like bits of the road that are sort of eroded away on the side. I keep getting rough surface, slow down. You know, like right now it's a bit up and down, all these little patches and stuff. So yeah, sort of look around. Got out and checked the car before, obviously, when I went to the toilet, and everyth's good. I have restrapped it when I got to Moreen. A bit of a bloody train coming through here. Cattle shit all over the front of the car. Tell you what, there's one thing I really kind of didn't know was the thing. It was wild goats. I mean, obviously I know goats are wild animals, but like, I don't know, I've just never really been to this part of Australia where like you just see goats everywhere. Like there's more of them, like right here. Like for the last probably, I don't know, couple of kilometres, every couple of 100 metres, mob of goats. I just didn't realise there were so many goats out here. I mean, I guess who else is going to bloody mow the lawns? Someone's got to. Look, bloody more of them. These things must just bloody breed like bloody wildfire out here, because they're absolutely everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. And the good thing is they're not silly animals. They don't really, they just kind of chill on the side of the road. They don't really get too startled by you. If you toot your horn a bit, the little ones sort of run a bit, because obviously they're only small and probably, you know, still learning the roads. But I feel like the older ones are pretty smart and have learnt the trucks coming past and whatnot. So yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I think on the way up, out of all the goats I've seen, which would have been like thousands and thousands of them, I only saw one dead one on the side of the road. And that was it. Look at them all. It's quite cool. So, made it home. No dramas. Bit of horse cow shit on the car, but otherwise we made it. Well, we're home. Here we are. It's been a couple of days since I got home. Just wanted to sort of settle in. As you would expect, I've already done a few things on the car. Just can't help myself. So I guess we'll go around and sort of do a bit of a lap around the car, and I'll sort of show you the things that I've already done, and then other plans with the car. So I guess we'll start at the rear here, and as you will see, it obviously has a fuel cell and some big fuel pumps and everything like that. So 30 litre Raceworks fuel cell, lift pump, filter, surge tank, two Bosch 044s, goes through I think it's a 10 micron filter, and then all heads down to the front of the car, obviously. Now E85, obviously. Yeah, pretty simple setup. But what my concerns are is, I'm not sure if you can see in here, but like it's only a couple of inches away from the side of the car. And we all know what happens to the back corner of drift cars eventually. You know, they do hit stuff. So I'm only kind of slightly concerned about the fuel system being there. So what I'm going to end up doing is moving all of this up in between the strut towers and shifting it all out the way. We're picking up a rear strut brace today to get that in there so that I know where I can sort of put everything in regards to that. So basically it's got 4-stud Drift-Tex on it. The brakes all seem, it's weird, the brakes all seem to be quite good. Like, you look at all the rotors, I'm not sure if you can really see them in there, but yeah, all the rotors and everything looking all clean, and they look like new rotors. Pads looking good, but they feel like shit. And I don't know why, so I think I might I've got a vacuum bleeder. I might get the vacuum bleeder out and just suck some fluid through and see if there's any air bubbles in there. I can only assume that he hasn't bled them properly. So I'll give you a little bit of story on the car. So basically, this bloke bought this shell, like as a bare shell, and put it together and built it up. So he's sort of sourced everything and put it together. So I really do want to check over everything, because so far what I've been finding is everything's done relatively good. Like I said, you know, you look at the fuel system and you think, like, yeah, it's great. Like, you know, everything's done properly, done right lines, like everything's done right. It's just the attention to detail and the thought put into things. It's just not there. It's just like, everything's just sort of been done to work, which, yeah, I guess for an argument, yeah, it works. Not very well though. Like, it's pretty well, not well thought out. So, yeah, like a lot of this, like, yeah, a lot of this stuff here. I'm gonna, you know, obviously put some sheathing on all of that, and, like, you know, somewhat clean it up. Like, that would probably be best off being mounted on the floor, kind of somewhere where near this is going, so you can kind of keep them together. So yeah, anyway, it's the small details on that stuff for me. Now, you know, one of the big things that I sort of noticed is the fact that when you look in here, you see the big alloy plate, and you're like, yeah, great, you know, that's all, you know, all good. But, like, better off doing it from this angle. Like, you can see, like, it's designed to stop the fire, I guess. But if there's a leak, the fuel gets down the front of there, and there's fire. Like, it's going to have fire in the cab. So you're really going to want that to be completely sealed, and the speaker holes being left open. Like, if you're going to seal it off, you got to seal it off. Like, there can't be any gaps in there. So obviously that's another thing I'll be doing. Now, what I've already done is fitted up the driver's seat, which is out of the Lexus. So yeah, I ended up having to remove the sliders, so it's just fixed now. I would have liked it on the slider still, but it just sat way too high. And I mean, where it is at the moment, to be honest, is probably the perfect position, because I can reach the pedals and everything's fine. I'd probably ideally like to be one click forward, but in a perfect world, you know, I'd like that, but it just doesn't allow me to have that option to go that far forward. So, but yeah, it's comfortable, sits in there well, I can reach pedals and everything's good, so I should probably just leave it there and deal with it. To be honest, sometimes I think I sit a little bit closer than I need to, and that one click back gives you room to move, so I think I'll just leave it where it is. If I don't like it, I can always, you know, change it, do something different, whatever, but for now, that's where it's at. Obviously, thrown the Nardi in there. Now, this here, I'll pop a little before picture in to show you what it was like before. But yeah, essentially now, obviously stereo isn't wired or anything yet. I'll probably finish that off today. I gotta get some speaker wire and stuff. And he had a momentary switch for the start, so you just push the switch down. So I've hit the button in there now, so you just hit the button and it starts. This will get painted black as well. Yeah, one of them things, like, it's doesn't really mount in there that well. I don't know whether to glue it or like make some little tab or something that I can sort of flick up, or I don't know, it doesn't really stay there that well. But yeah, I'll sort that out. See, little things like this, the the cable for the dash for the Microtech came down and was like looped around here, like made no sense at all why it would be there. Where now, like I've tucked it, there's a hole back here. I've tucked it up, zip tied it up through there, completely out of the way. Like why in the world would you have it sitting where it was sitting? I don't know. I'm a little bit baffled at some of the things that's been done. Just sort of very corner cutting, I would say. So even this here, the switch panel for the headlights and everything like that. Now he's just had it nut and bolted through here and through here, like. So I've just kind of gone through and put nutserts and everything, and so now it's bolted there properly. The battery being there is not okay. That will 100% be being moved. For now, I'm going to leave it there because it works and all the cabling is routed to it. So obviously, I need to get some new cabling and stuff like that. But basically, once that's moved, I will put it back here behind the on the passenger seat. I'll be getting things like new gear knob because that you can't have that. That doesn't sit pretty with me. Harness is Takata harness, and actually a genuine one, which is a bonus. Now, sorry guys, I'm just a little bit stuffy. I think the drive got up there and back in 3 days. Done a number on me, but anyway. So this is where we're at with the engine. When I first picked it up, it was missing on a cylinder, and it turned out to be that all the plugs in, like the terminals in this coil pack plug were shot. So I'm going to order all new coil pack plugs and probably rewire the entire coil packs because, to be honest, I'm not that happy with the way that it was done, and they looked a bit bloody corroded and stuff. So I'll probably rewire all that stuff because I just don't want any issues with that. Now it's got 750cc injectors. This sort of cut and shut manifold, which I'm not that keen on this throttle body. Like the whole thing is a bit weird, which is actually probably another thing I can show you that looks a bit strange that I can't work out. Why those foot pedals would possibly be like that. I don't know if that makes it easier for you to see, but look at where the brake pedal is, and then like the throttle pedal, when you fully depress it, like that's fully down, but it's not hitting on the stopper. Now I've bent that down already a little bit. I've got to take it off to bend it the rest of the way, but I don't know what they're out of. But they're not for this car because they don't work very well at all. And I feel like that's probably why the brakes don't feel that great. It's probably something to do with the brake pedal being short and things like. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I'll probably